Welcome back to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. At the state capitol, Republicans are trying to strike while the iron is hot. Governor Brown has proposed a freeze on tuition at UC and CSU. Republicans are trying to take that one step further. Thank you very much for joining us, and thanks to our guest, Mike Morrell, for joining us, member of the State Assembly from Rancho Cucamonga. So I know you're very much involved in this legislation that is trying to freeze the tuition at UC and CSU, but you want to take it a little farther than the governor.
Yeah, we do, because the governor's tax plan on 30, what we were told, the public, this money was going to go for education. And so the thing we're concerned about is there's approximately $6 billion that we think from revenues are going to come in. And right now, some of the things you hear, only $1.8 billion is going to go towards education. So we believe if we were told the whole thing's going to go, we do want to make sure that that money goes to our students to educate them, K through 12, and then of course to the UCs. And so one of the things is this tax increases for 7 years, so we want to be able to freeze tuition for 7 years.
Are you happy with the $250 million figure that both UC and CSU is getting? They'd like more, of course. But,
yeah, well, again, I think there's room in there for actually a little bit more money from them. I also have another bill, AB 51, where we want to accelerate high school students that are driven in science, math, and technology, and engineering, those types of fields, who have a lot of AP courses. We want to be able to initiate a bill which will get them through college in less than 3 years because they've taken these classes, and for the fee of $10,000. Because in California, a lot of businesses we talk to are actually recruiting out of state, overseas, in those specific areas.
But don't high school students who take a lot of AP courses and get credit for them, that counts against their 4 years in college? I mean, they get credit for that once they get to college.
Yeah, so that would be accompanied with the accelerated program. So we think we can get them through in 2 years to 2.5 years, 3 at the most.
Really?
So it would be, so at least that it's a pilot program that has been tried in other states. We want to try it in this state.
I would imagine that would severely reduce costs.
Yeah, $10,000 for 4 years. And that's one thing. One of the reasons I jointly authored that bill with Assemblyman Dan Logue is it grieves me to see our young students leaving college today with no guarantee of a job, with $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in student loans. 30 years at 6 to 9% interest rates. That's a tough way to start life off.
Yeah, I want to ask you about another piece of legislation that is interesting, that a lot of reformers have called for many, many years, and that is some transparency in the budget process as we get close to the very end of the legislative session.
Well, the first year I was up here, which was 2 years ago, an hour and a half before we were to take a vote on the budget bill, which was a $97 budget bill, 700 or 800 pages. We were handed that information about 2 hours before the vote. So that was grossly unfair. So for the last 3 years, I've submitted a bill that says that information, the taxpayers' money, budget, should be available online to them, public access, for at least 72 hours prior to us voting on those bills. And of course it was turned down by my friends across the aisle the first year. The second year was turned down. This year we got a lot of press up and down the state, from the LA Times to the San Francisco Examiner. And the good news is, I don't know if my particular version of the bill is going to go, but Senator Walk has introduced one of her own, and the language is pretty much mirrors what mine says.
Okay, so no matter who gets the credit, the job will get done.
Well, the people will win.
Yeah, all right. Assemblyman Morrell, thank you very much for coming by and talking about these issues and your legislation. We appreciate it.
Sounds good.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can watch this and other interviews on My Government On Demand, also on YouTube.